Now, I know that woke some folk up. Please understand, money is not a barrier in itself. The problem is how you get your money can be the barrier. See, there's some folks who won't come to church because of the way they earn their money. You know, there may be some drug dealers that will be uncomfortable coming in here leaving an offering, because you know how we church folk get. You know, some folks will say, oh, we don't want that tainted money. Well, my mama always say, all money tainted good. I know some of y'all missed that. Please understand, the Bible says that the wealth of the wicked laid up for the righteous. And money in itself is not evil. The Bible doesn't say the money is evil. The Bible says money answereth all things. But what the Bible does teach is that the love of money is the root of all evil. And as Zacchaeus was in a difficult situation, it wasn't that he was rich that was the barrier. The barrier was how he got his money. He was a tax collector. And please understand, in the ancient Near East, the tax collector was the most despised man in town. Because this is the way it worked. You would submit a contract to the government to be the tax collector for your community. And basically, you would bid on the contract. Well, if I get the contract, I'll turn in $50,000 a year. And the government figure, okay, if you can get $50,000 out of these folks, fine, you got the contract. Well, what you would do in your position as tax collector, using the arm of the law, you would extort whatever you could get out of folk. So if you was a low-down rascal, even though you only had to get the government $50,000, you might make another $100,000 for you. The government didn't care as long as they got theirs. And tax collectors were known to lie, cheat, steal, take your last donkey, whatever they could in order to make their ends meet, and the government would back them up because they were government contractors. Zacchaeus, we see by the text, was a man of great wealth, which means that he probably cheated a whole bunch of folk out of their money. And even if he didn't cheat folks, some folk probably said he didn't cheat some people that he really didn't cheat. You know how we get. You know, somebody hit for $500. When the story get out, they got $20,000. It was a barrier that kept him. He had a physical situation that kept him from Jesus, but then he had this spiritual thing that was keeping him from Jesus. And my question is, how many folks do we know that can't come to Jesus because they got barriers? My own father, for years, wouldn't submit his life to Christ. And I would ask him, Daddy, why don't you come to church? It was, son, I'm a backslider. What's that, Daddy? Well, it's somebody who ain't quite doing, I done a whole bunch of stuff. And he said, and I'm not going to be like some folk I know, do everything they want to do, get ready to die, and go join church. He said, I ain't going to be no hypocrite. And it wasn't until I got old enough, I got to be a man, when he gave me that line, I don't want to be a hypocrite. I said, no, Daddy, that ain't being a hypocrite, that's being a fool. Because the gift of God is eternal life. The Lord don't care what you've done. He's ready to meet you where you are. But that was a barrier we did not understand. It wasn't until later in years that I understood what the barrier was, that he had another family. And he didn't want to be perceived as a hypocrite. He didn't want to come roll up in church and folks say, he come to church with this family. I wonder if he go with the other family. There are a lot of folk who got barriers. I ain't mean to be on anybody's pew, but a whole lot of folk got barriers. Some folk can't come to Jesus because of something that somebody did years ago. We had a preacher that wasn't no good. That's why I don't be bothered with church now. And they allow that to be a barrier. Some folk won't come to Bethel because they saw some preacher on TBN who got too much bling bling on. That's why I don't go to church. Them preachers get all the money. I want to go on record. That's not the case here at Bethel. You can get a copy of the financial report and see for yourself. You ain't got to sue nobody to get it. We've allowed these barriers to get in the way of us and Jesus. You cannot be changed. You cannot allow God to work in your life until you address the barrier issues. You got to overcome the barriers. You got to get over that stuff. Somebody dogged you out. I'm so sorry you got hurt. Get over it. My daddy was on the deacon board and the preacher put him out. I'm so sorry to hear that. I don't know the details, but you got to get over it. Until you get over the barriers, you can't see Jesus. Zacchaeus wanted to see Jesus, but he couldn't see over top of the people. So he figured out, I got to overcome this barrier. He went out of his way, went down the road, and climbed a sycamore tree because he wanted to see Jesus. See, sometimes you got to go up a tree to see the Lord. You got to go out of your way in order to see the Lord. Second thing you got to do, if you're going to be converted, Jesus has got to intersect your life. And now, please understand, my brothers and sisters, I wrestle with this. I couldn't find the right word, and I, Jesus got to come into your life. Jesus got, you got to see Jesus. No. I wrestle with that thing because it ain't enough to see Jesus. It's not enough to know about him. See, Zacchaeus knew about him, but you got to see him, and it's not about just seeing him pass by, but you got to get in. You got to have a point where he comes into your life, that he intersects in your life, that he comes in and changes things, that he just don't come in and go right back out, but when he comes in, that things are changed.